Two multi-million-dollar bonds are heading to El Paso County voters. This after county commissioners unanimously approved both proposals and called for a bond election come November 5th. Thank you for choosing KTSM 9 News at 10. I'm Andy Morgan. Monica has the night off. Now, if approved, both bonds would mean a tax rate increase for county residents. For that, we turn to KTSM 9 News reporter Tirza Ortiz, who has been following the prospects of these bonds very, very closely. And Tirza, what do officials say the community will get in exchange for their tax dollars?
Well, Andy, the two bonds target improvements and developments across different sectors within the county, from enhancing current infrastructures to building a first-of-its-kind burn center. Commissioners say these bonds are necessary in order to improve and enhance El Pasoans' quality of life.
We are sending to the voters a package of $323.8 million in a bond issuance that will be on the ballot on November 5th.
The fate of nearly $324 million in the hands of El Paso County voters. If approved, the funds would go towards 5 propositions. Those include improvements to parks and recreation centers, a new medical examiner's office, county sub-courthouses, renovating the county coliseum, and a new animal welfare shelter. In exchange, residents would see a 3-cent tax rate increase. That adds up to about $60 a year based on a home value of $200,000.
It would not kick in until fiscal year 2026. So starting fiscal year 2026 would start in October of 2025.
That's not the only bond up for voters to decide on. County commissioners also approved putting a nearly $400 million bond for a university medical center on November's ballot as well.
This is healthcare related, and I know that this community understands that we're very, very medically underserved.
I think a lot of people are very sensitive to the fact that we're going to improve the health of the community in general, and that we're going to be able to help people stay here in El Paso.
UMC's bond is designed to improve healthcare access points, improve the main UMC campus, and create a cancer center and burn center. This bond would cost taxpayers around $70 on average through a span of 30 years.
It's not just an increase of taxes if that's the case. It's what do we need to do to invest in our future.
Now, the county has a full breakdown of the projects along with their costs. You can find a link to that on our website, ktsm.com. Andy.
Yeah, and Tirza, both bonds were passed unanimously, but the general obligation bond came with a little bit of a lengthier discussion, shall we say. Were commissioners at odds over the project list or the funding, and were there any concerns brought up by constituents during today's meeting?
So you could call it a civil discussion, Andy. Basically, Commissioner Ileana Holguin brought up that she would like to see some of the projects that are under certificates of obligation go under the GO bond. Now, certificates of obligation do not require voters' approval, but Sergio Coronado and Commissioner David Stout both brought up that the projects under the certificates of obligation are either state requirements or they need attention sooner rather than later. So yes, after that lengthier discussion, commissioners did come to the consensus of what was pushed out this afternoon, where both bonds are going to voters to decide on. Andy. Yeah,
and Tirza will, of course, continue to keep an eye on these proposals and the public's feedback as Election Day draws near. Tirza Ortiz joining us live tonight from downtown El Paso. Tirza, thank you.